Massive glaciers, staggering mountains, plains dotted with wild animals. We sure live in a big, beautiful world. And while pinpointing all of nature's greatest hits could take a lifetime, this is a list of only 9 out of this world landscapes and awe-inspiring wonders. Starting off with number 1. Thorsville, Oregon, USA. Located on the Oregon Pacific coast in the northwest of the USA, Thorsville is a circular hole that was formed after a sea cave collapse. As the waves recede, the hole empties and it looks like the sea is draining away in a bottomless hole before it refills and empties again. Around high tide, Thorsville, named after the Norse god of thunder, fills from the bottom, occasionally shooting up spray as the waves slam against the rocks. Waves wash over the hole too, seeming to drain down into it. The effect is seemingly infinite cycle of draining and refilling. Formations like Thorsville and Spouting Horn are typically formed over long periods of time geologically. They begin as a sea cave and eventually the top of the cave collapses, leaving an opening where the tide surges from below and water shooting upward with a dynamic force. Number 2. Fly Geyser, Nevada, USA. Human error and geothermic activity collided to create the Fly Geyser in the Black Rock Desert. Fly Ranch Geyser was just an ordinary man-made well drilled in the early 90s. Eventually piping hot geothermally heated water began to rise through cracks in the well and up to the ground's surface, through what is now Fly Geyser. For the past 40 years, the water has brought minerals to the desert surface, creating the geyser's distinct mound. Number 3. Masazir Lake, Azerbaijan. Masazir Lake is not far from Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. The pink saline lake gets its color, which is strongest in the summer from microorganisms called halophales. This lake is said to be one of the 8 pink lakes in the world, and thus that makes it so special. This lake produces salt every year, so it is very important to the government with fences all around it to be protected. Number 4. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Salar means flat in Spanish. Uyuni originates from the Aymara language and means a pen or enclosure. Uyuni is a surname and the name of a town that serves as a gateway for tourists visiting the Salar. Aymara legend tells that the mountain Tanupa, Cusco, and Cusina, which surround the Salar, were giant people. Salar de Uyuni is said to be the most flattest place on the earth. When lakes near these Bolivian salt flats overflow, they create a majestic mirror surface that reflects the sky and clouds above. The Salar de Uyuni are the largest of the kind and cover a whopping 4,050 square miles of the Bolivian Altiplano. The vast oasis of salt boasts a horizon that seems to never end, making this spot a photographer's dream. Though there are many salt flats in the world, this is the most biggest one. Number 5. Mount Fuji, Japan. Mount Fuji is a symbol of Japan. The mountain contributes to Japan's physical, cultural, and spiritual geography. Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain in Japan, standing at 3,776 meters. Mount Fuji has been a sacred site for practitioners of Shinto since at least the 7th century. The volcano is considered active and has erupted more than 15 times since 781. However, Mount Fuji has been dormant since an eruption in 1707, and its last sign of volcanic activity occurred in the 1960s. Fuji seems to have formed during the past 2.6 million years. It might look like it's just one giant big mountain, but Mount Fuji is actually made up of three separate volcanoes: Komitake at the bottom, Go-Fuji in the middle, and Fuji at the top, which is the youngest of the three. Japan's most popular attraction, the mountain is visited by around 300,000 climbers every year and considered it can only be accessed for just over 2 months of the year. That's a pretty impressive number. Number 6. Bioluminescent Beaches, Maldives. As waves break on the sandy shore or bare feet step into wet sand, a bright blue glow appears. This magic effect is caused by a bioluminescent plankton, which is a small microorganism that lives in fresh water that often appears in warm coastal waters. There are 5 bioluminescent beaches in the world. The best time to see the brightest bioluminescent phenomena in the Maldives is between June and October. Number 7. Fairy Pools Isles of Skye, Scotland. This is a place where the line between fact and fiction becomes rather blurred. This is probably the reason that certain places on Skye are named after the little people, including the Fairy Bridge, Fairy Glen, Fairy Knoll, and the Fairy Pools. Celtic myths and legends that speak of magical beings living under hills and waters filled with beasts large and small. The fairy pools near Carbow, Scotland embody that sense of magic in their unbelievably blue waters. Number 8. Iguazu Falls, Argentina and Brazil. Iguazu Falls are waterfalls of the Iguazu, located in the Argentina and Brazil's border. With more than 275 falls, the Iguazu are the most majestic of waterfalls. The most scenic one is the curved contract christened the Devil's Throat that has 14 falls that drop to a height of 350 feet. Iguazu is wider than Lake Victoria on the Zimbabwean border. However, due to the outcrops that interrupts its waterfall, it is considered smaller. In terms of beauty, none of the other waterfalls in the world can come close to compete. Number 9. Jeju Island, South Korea. The island is well known for natural wonders, including waterfalls, white sand beaches, and a dormant volcano. South Korea's highest mountain. At the center of the island, Jeju's Island is one of the world's new 7 wonders of nature. Jeju Island is a truly special travel experience for those who would like to explore a part of the world not usually explored. It is the wonder of nature. The island was formed around 2 million years ago by a volcanic eruption. In the 1750s, islanders carved large rocks of solidified lava into huge human representations, known as the Grandfather Stones. They were created to scare away any invaders, and around 45 carved stones remain today. So that was all for today. Bye!